Hi, Ben from Hayes Products here. Today we're having a look at our medium duty slasher. I'll go through all the features on it, starting with the deck. So we've got 4mm plate on the deck, which is pretty decent for a slasher in this price range. Quite often some companies will be only using 4mm on their heavy duty, so some lighter ones will only be 3mm. So 4mm is a pretty good level for a medium duty. Underneath the gearbox there, you've got an additional 6mm plate, so giving us 10mm under the gearbox where it really counts. In case of an impact with your cutter bar, that's where slasher decks will fail in around the gearbox if you get that twist. 10mm, we don't see them breaking. Coming around and having a look at the skids, so we have 4 adjustment heights here. We also have an additional plate around where the skids bolt on. Also, we've got this extra fold on top of the skids with the extra strengthening through each side. That just makes the skid nice and rigid, so you're not going to get them twisting as you're turning through the paddocks. Looking at our deck again as well, it's what we call a clean skin, so all the strengthening is underneath. We'll get it up on the hoist shortly and have a look at that. But yeah, having all the strengthening underneath is just going to save any rust issues from accumulation of grass sitting on top of your deck. We have the chain guards front and rear as required by law, and just zooming in there, having a look at the slip clutch. We have a 7-inch clutch as standard with our PTO shaft. Quite important to have with saving damage to your cutter bar if you do unfortunately have an impact with a stump or a rock. You might be tossing up between a slasher or a flail mower. Which one should you choose? Depending on your tractor's 3-point lift capacity, you may be restricted to a slasher. 3.5 foots weigh in at 185 kilos compared to our entry-level flail mower at 350 kilos. You may see some other sub 300 kilo flail mowers around, but with all the hardware involved in making a flail mower work, we've tried and tested them. You can't get them under that 300 kilo mark at a good reliable unit. So we recommend, if you don't have the lift, stick with the slasher. Slashers are an extremely simple design. Been around for a long time, just a PTO shaft into your gearbox through to your cutter bar. Very low maintenance, easy to maintain. Horsepower requirements. We recommend a minimum of 1.5 horsepower per 100mm of cut. This minimum requirement would be suitable for lawn grass or paddocks that are regularly maintained. If you're wanting to have an all-round machine that will do everything, long grass through to a little bit of scrub, debris, etc., 2.5 horsepower per 100mm will have you well and truly covered. Having a look underneath now, we'll have a look at the strengthening under the gearbox for a start. So we've got an 8mm plate. That's boxing in right around where the gearbox mounts, so that gives us additional strength on top of the 4mm deck. Looking at your cutter bar, fully fabricated cutter bar, welded all the way across with a 10mm plate both sides. So quite often cutter bars will only just have a bent up plate coming down from the output shaft coming through here, and there's just no strength if you don't have that extra gusseting. So 10mm is very strong on the cutter bar. We've got the protection ring to protect your output shaft and castellated nut on the bottom there. Swing back blades, both ends as they should be. We've got some angle running through here welded to the deck. Front and rear we have RHS spanning the full width to brace in to the sides. Where our skids bolt on, you'll see you've got an additional plate running down through here with another gusset. Further gusseting up here just to give strength on the sides. You'll see as well where the side plates are welded in. They're not just stitched, they're fully welded all the way along front to back, tying in again to the RHS. I hope you found this video helpful today. If you have any further questions, feel free to call our team on 1300 442 937 or email sales@hayesproducts.com.au. Remember, spare parts backup. We have everything in stock for these machines, as we do for all our implements. We freight Australia-wide 5 days a week at competitive rates, so our sales team can help you with a quote as well. Thanks for watching.